The night was long. They spat in my face. Articles were written. The blogs went off. It was like they were waiting for the moment when I would die. But what did I do? I only preached love for one another, love for the game, love for the culture, love for our nation. And along the way, I felt so thirsty. A certain woman offered me water. But the Roman grabbed the cloth that had water, dipped it in a very bitter liquid, and then dipped it on my tongue. The lashes continued. Right when I thought the torture was about to end, they brought the heaviest cross and put it right where the wounds were. Omanyinga omuti omuti ogwo gubateka kasoli abaguyita batya? Omumbuti. Like they brought nga kuliko n'obwo bumansuka nga bakubye kibooko skin yonna esanso ne bakuteekako ogwo omuti nga kuliko n'obuntu obufumita. They told me, lift this thing. I'm like, damn. Why was I preaching love, peace, and harmony? I should have stayed in Bethlehem or Egypt. You get me? I shouldn't have pulled up to Jerusalem on a donkey, on the latest donkey. Niggas were hating on my donkey.
That was like a Rolls Royce.
It was like a Rolls Royce. Niggas were hating on my donkey. My donkey was like, they were like, his donkey even talks. Meanwhile, they pretended to be my friends. They did ABC, and now this came their moment, and they were on the blogs talking about how I was doing the most. You know, like, I'm arrogant, I'm angry. All I did was preach love, peace, and harmony, self-belief and self-love to the extent that it should spill over to the younger generation so they can have confidence in themselves. That's all I preached. All they saw was, who is he to tell us that? Long story long, I ended up on the biggest cross in the land.
Custom
made.
Branded.
Branded.
Never.
They even put a thing on the cross.
Oh God.
Here lies the king of hip-hop.
I think you're the last person to die on such a cross.
Here lies the king of what? The king of hip-hop. Someone is like, my advice when in Uganda, pretend you never had a flight in your life and do and talk to down to earth as if you're on the same level of Rolex Chikomando, but behind the scene, know you're worthy.
Let me tell you, for us who have come from the hood,
yes, yes,
we are very unapologetic because we've lived through the life. We know how people behave, and some people just don't want to step up.
No, some people are also intimidated by who you are. You get me?
Yeah.
Did you were you recording when I read the comment? This comment right here. This is someone commenting on my picture. Picture. You're recording, eh? So Nina album cover. It's on the album cover Yanaz, right? So I posted and said, hip hop is dead, but in a few days it will resurrect. This weekend I'll deliver the State of the Hip Hop Nation address. I hold the blueprint, one built on our victories and solutions for our struggles. A path forward, a call to unity, a return to greatness. The State of the Hip Hop Nation address is not just a speech but a mission, a message for every stakeholder, MC, fan, creative, and revolutionary. The culture needs leadership, innovation, entrepreneurship, and solidarity. Together we shall rise again to greater heights, I promise. The revolution, not the revolution, the evolution. On Samba Boom for a shit.
Yeah.
On Samba Boom for a shit, the evolution will be televised, powered by Baboon Forest Media, streaming on the Zambaland podcast. Greatness No Limits. GNL Homecoming. Return of the King. 20 years of GNL loading. NCF together tunawakilisha. So that was my post. And then when I shared this image, it showed me how little Ugandans know about it. Like the hip hoppers know, right? But the regular Joes who are just trying to jump on our hip hop stuff, because we are cool people. And we are cool, but like by all measures, like when you meet us, we are good people. Like when you meet me, it's not, fame is not like that complex to me. I'm just any other like dude. Maybe olusi nyizo kubanga nekubya kawowo nga kamalayo nichukuba maso nogama. What the fuck is that? But I believe, maybe you guys, nyizo kubanga zaneda babulanga, you people see me different. But I believe I'm a regular dude. So there are some people about to get a world year hip hop. They totally don't understand it. That anything which you do to the best of your abilities, they call it okweraga. But that's what you're supposed to do. That's hip hop. You brag about your lyrical skills. Bulichimu Street. I didn't even introduce you guys. Bulichimu Street. You're the best turntablist. Mu hip hop. Thank you so much. I'm so humbled by you thinking no, nigga, I'm the best.
That's
I'm the best turntablist ever.
But the DJs have it in their drops when they're playing the turntable assassin.
The turntable assassin.
And you look at the dude saying turntable assassin.
The guy has never killed a fly. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Zambaland podcast. Nchali momidoya point in actually introducing our guests, my co-hosts. But I'm saying that I posted a picture, right? When to get about to get a hip hop until Twitter go kuba jukiza dala hip hop chechi. Like that, we have just talked about the self-expression ever mundao, where you're the best version of yourself. Like they don't get it. No, you're supposed to feel the same way about yourself too. I will not feel insulted. If you're in front of my face saying, I'm the best, this and this, I'll be like, big up to you, king. Like, do you? But why do you have a problem when I'm living in my power? Why do you have a problem when other people walk in their power? We should actually empower each other to encourage others to walk in their full power, because you cheat the world. Let me refer back to Mujagala Mugende ku Google Munonye poem by Marianne Williamson, right? This poem talks about how you cheat the world by hiding your gifts in humility. People tell you, humility, be humble. Yes, in the sagala kubera humble, I want to be kind. I never want to be, because humble is a prison where insecure people keep greatness in a prison. Like I could know that you're better than me at graphics, muku designing graphics, but I don't want you to show off your skills, even if your skills are supreme to mine. Njakugamba, why are you over showing off your skills? Be humble. When you talk about what you can do in a meeting, team, no gamba, but I can do this. Oh, by the way, I can also do this. You guys, graphics, someone will tell you, shut up. Be humble. Why should I be humble? It's the skills that I spend all night working on. Like you sacrifice for these gifts. And it's a gift from God. So imagine omuntu akugambye waguze saati yo okunyuma ku Sunday when you're going to church. Oguze saati to look good when you're going to church. But someone tells you, that's hating. That's low-key hatred. That's low-key envy. And when you don't check those things, they turn into... There's a point I'm trying to drive to here. That when you see DJ Street, when you see Collins, when you see GNL living in their full power, it's because in hip-hop we expect people to do the same.
You're right.
Like, hip-hop. Actually, to them it's obvious. They're like, of course GNL is GNL. But they will say, Zamba lwacha tulage nyumba. But tell me, mbulira yo rapper gwomanya talaga nyumba ye wabera.
Rose. there's a quote I read.
Uh-huh.
A friend was saying, obviously, we did a forcing of Yabagaga, your country get up with Yabu. Like, you rap about Yabagaga, your
kati kankuwalira ennyimba z'obwavu zenyimbye zonna ensi bwe kuba bulo koi ghetto mentality ziwera. Actually, I even blank out. Like, if I pulled out the list right now, the whole Nsimbi album is about the spirit and how we need to reconnect with each other on a human level.
Yeah.
We are digressing, but
there's basically time for everything.
There is olina mu Bible gwe. Bible yegamba there's a time for everything.
For everything.
Like if you meet the Zamba ngam in the Nsimbi mode, I'm meditating, I'm drinking green tea. I'm speaking love, I'm speaking spirituality, I'm the light, I'm the vessel. Actually, I'm the vessel that light can go through me to do good things on earth while I'm here. That's the Nsimbi mode.
Yeah.
Me and my partner as a family, that's what makes us happy. Seeing people do good things that omutagina na musasula naye nokola yo act yakabi. Okitegeera.
Yep.
If you find me in my
homecoming
Zamba mood, Zamba is a boy from Kawempe. I'm going to tell you about my poverty. I'm going to tell you about my struggles. I'm going to tell you a man fuck with because what I'm fighting for, you cannot dim my light because mani jengenda na I'm struggling right now, but I'm going somewhere. That's the Zamba. That's the ghetto mentality. Now, when I'm on my GNL shit, I'm on my black excellence shit.
Power. Who
doesn't want that for themselves? So there are all these different modes that there's a time for everything. You can't say GNL does not relate with the local struggle when my whole story is about the local struggle. Ntandikira mu koi banzalira mu ghetto awatali mutto GNL Zamba ningo mwana Yesu Kristo enkuba bwetonye okuvaayo ewaffe weetaaga lyato. On ghetto mentality I'm like bakugamba nti ayina balongo nga z'olina tezigenda na kuwangatto. These are stories from. I'm the ghetto storyteller.
Yeah, the real ghetto.
The real ghetto storyteller. They're trying to paint this picture like I'm out of touch. No, nigga. The first time I came back here, I went to Kawempe and spent time with my people.
Yeah.
Went to see my judges before I even came out in public. Okay.
When you say can't match my shoes on the ghetto Cinderella. In my head, I was like, that's it. That's it,
man.
That's it.
On some glass slipper shit.
That's it.
Hey, man.
I think the rappers here have failed to let me use the word sell for lack of a better word.
Yes.
I think the rappers here have failed to sell the lifestyle. So that's why people got it confused.
Yeah.
People are not used to.
And it's right that you're saying that people have failed to sell the lifestyle. Actually, you don't even have to sell the lifestyle. It has to be you. That's where authenticity comes in.
Yeah.
Like, everything I've mentioned is part of the GNL brand, right?
Yeah.
Like, whether it's struggle, whether it's triumph, the rags to riches story, whether it's preaching kindness, that has always been part of my whole catalog. Mulimu Pan-Africanism, mulimu communities, mulimu. Story they're making in the very, very beginning is that napostinza akafaananyi okulaga nti abagwagwa bangi let me not call them bagwagwa bagenda kugamba oyogera nnyo bubi. But if you commented on my Twitter post or my Facebook post ng'olabye cover eriko hip hop is dead n'ogamba this is not originality, then you brought for me a picture ya Nas, that means you totally missed the point. Because the point is, that was the picture that I chose. Femo Hip Hop, that's obvious. Everybody knows that album cover. So you're not being smart. You're actually exposing how little you know about hip hop. Because Femo Hip Hop is a Twitter cultural reference.
Okay.
Nti Kendrick Lamar bwe yazinira mu video ye ya Squabble Up. Nga video bali mu just an empty room. Faba jirimanyi tumanyi nti waliyo video nga bandi gye bayita The Roots bakola a similar video. It's not that it's an original, it's just telling you it's in the context of that.
Okay.
So I expect people to it's really exhausting when you put around people abatalowoza bulungi oba abatalowoza. Like when God wants to punish an intelligent man, he surrounds him with idiots.
So what you mean, whoever commented that post,
yes.
literally,
abagitegedde bwe bagitegedde ne bagamba yes sebo kati hip-hop akomyewo siza waffe tufunye leadership bo bakitegedde naye ne wajjawo zinene embaata ezitawagira music waffe naye nga zimanyiyo akantu nti waliwo album ya Naza ya hip-hop is dead. I called it hip-hop is dead for a reason. Nikyabadde ne mu caption. So it's a cultural reference. Nze bayita ba Captain Obvious. You're Captain Obvious. Like, do you know that the rain comes from up? Yes, Captain Obvious. I do know that. Do you know that that's Naz's cover? Oh my God. Are we in primary 2 or P1 of these hip-hop classes? I chose the album cover to reflect the moment. Actually, I'm not the only one who has done that. Even Kendrick Lamar's done the same thing. Chilingango kwata album cover ya Jay-Z ya Blueprint. Nga anywa siga naye ng'olaba bulabi ngatto zimwetoolodde. That's a mafia boss thing. So if I use that as a cultural reference and you spot it, it's because I want you as a hip-hop fan to respect it and know the vein through which I'm creating.
Yeah.
But Captain Obvious banji mu Kampala. But this is the culture where we are. And now that I'm back, I realize how much the culture needs me. Not on some arrogant shit. But like really the culture needs us to educate people on what hip-hop really is. Because DJ Street, Baliku podcast.
Yeah, by the way, let me first catch
Can't leave rap alone, the game needs me.
Straight up.
Haters want me clap the chrome, it ain't easy. Yeah, man.
Let me first divert you a bit. You're putting on a suit. For the first time I'm seeing you putting on a suit.
For the first time?
First time. Mugambe. We do these threads things. There's a time for everything. There's a Bible verse. Do you know the Bible verse? Somebody look up that verse. There's a time for everything. A time for sewing, a time for crying, a time for laughing. There's a time for... The Bible has the blueprint for everything.
For everything.
Everything, bro.
Okay. Now,
He didn't say that there's a time for wearing a suit, but he just said that.
By the way.
Yeah.
Okay, kati. Oyinakyogambye n'ogamba waliwo ba
Mr. Obvious.
Mr. Obvious.
Captain Obvious.
Okay.
Captain Obvious.
Okay, let me reason like a Captain Obvious. Are you verging for any post? Do you want any post in government? Kuba suit kati.
Street. Don't take a more politics.
Next level shit.
Street, please don't put me in politics. But here's the thing I must say.
Yep.
Nafulumiza album trailer eya album yange jibaita GNL Homecoming. Yeah. And in one of those album trailers, I said, my biggest fear is not that I'm inadequate. Going back to the poem, my biggest fear is not that I'm inadequate, it's that I'm powerful beyond measure. Like, I don't think I've even unlocked 10% of my power, my true power and potential. Like, I always hold back when people insult me. I'm like, I'll give him a second chance to have some sense in him. I could even give it 3 years, 5 years, sometimes 7. Some people it has taken 20. And I won't react. But if I'm to stand in my real power, trust me, kagwaya laire chiri mugulu bwe chiri kankana.
If you switch to beast mode style.
If I did what?
You switch to beast mode.
If I switch to beast mode. Well, this goes into another tweet. Now we're on social media, Lugambo. So someone insulted me and tagged me on Twitter, on X, Twitter. On X, they insulted me and even tagged me. That means they really wanted me to see it. So when I saw it, I joked it off and I gave him my context of why I think is wrong. I thought it was going to be a mature debate. But then he returned with heat and more disrespect. Now, there's a mode I got to. Zamba came out. This GNL journalist come. Zamba is like a beast. Because Zamba protects GNL and Nsimbi. Zamba doesn't play. So I go into my Zamba mode and I went to like the most extreme insult I could ever think about, being raised from a Kawempe Muzigo. And I downloaded and I served. He never came back. He never came back from that.
You
He never
served
came
him
back
fresh
from that.
juice.
I gave him the fresh stuff. I gave him the fresh stuff. Very potent. Very potent. You know, I grew up like surrounded by Mizigo. The place is called Chibizi Zone for a reason. Like the things I downloaded as a kid. I just have to think of the situation and then on some Fefe Busi type of shit. Yeah. So I gave this gentleman a piece of my mind. I don't think he has recovered because that Zamba quickly comes out. Then someone said, "You're always angry nowadays when you're in your communication. You're always angry, right?" Then I was like, man, even Jesus came back and he found people misusing the temple and he flipped tables. You get me? Even our Lord Jesus Christ, who is the most calm man who preached love, yatukanga waliwo some foolishness in the temple, in the synagogue, that can't be allowed, like really, seriously. And that's the highest mark of the person we should be. What would Jesus do? So even for Zamba, the guy said, "Oh, you're always angry." I was like, "You think this is angry? I can go full Hulk. What about film you're good? Hulk Kalimuchi, Avengers.
There is a movie Hulk, also Avengers. Yeah.
Hey, Kati, what if I go full Hulk? I haven't even started. This is just Zamba. If I go full Hulk,
You need the stones.
I pray I don't. I actually pray I don't.
Yeah.
I pray I don't. That's why I meditate every day, 30 minutes every day. I drink green tea in the morning.
Yeah.
And think about my thoughts and my purpose on earth and what I'm really doing here.
Me and my friends have a song we always sing whenever anything goes down.
Yeah. Push your microphone a little bit to the mouth.
Whenever anything goes down, we're like, wait till I get my money right. I called my friend yesterday. I'm like, yo.
Yeah, give me a second. Keep on going.
I'm about to get a ride.
Yeah.
You better hide under your bed. You get, cause we're always talking about what would you do in your full potential when you have the power, when you have the money, that's what we all strive for to get to. You understand?
I understand.
So to me, I'm like, that's what the rap game is all about. I want to get the coolest chain, the coolest outfit, the most expensive, so that I could show it off. Not on some, of course, it's a little bit braggadocious, but it's mostly for the game, for show. Show business.
Because we're dealing showbiz, man.
It's show business, man. I asked, if I may ask you, actually.
Yeah.
Would you rather own... I need to ask this when G is here. I need to ask this, but, the rappers have failed to, show us the lifestyle.
Of course.
They're always about some rap shit, but when you look at all the rappers, how they are moving and how they are living, man, they're... I don't know, some banana leaves, I don't know, whatever that shit is. But it's so like, yo, come on, bro. We're all trying to step up. We don't fuck down, we fuck up, bro. So, excuse my language. But that's some rap shit. Anyways, hip-hop. But at the end of the day, straight, the truth is, we failed as a hip-hop community. We failed hip-hop because people are not inspired to be us anymore.
Of course, nobody still inspires.
People may like what you do, may like how you rap, but no one wants to be like you anymore.
People may like your punchlines.
People may like your punchlines. People may like your punchlines, but the fact is they don't really want to be like you because of how you dress, because of how you speak, because of what you represent, what you eat. Like, for over 10 years, you're the same. Who wants to be like you? You get it.
Oh, I missed the point. I missed the point there. Sorry.
Yeah, we're talking about the lifestyle.
Lifestyle.
Like, people focus... our rappers are focusing more on, the lyrics, but they are forgetting the personality. The personality. That it has to inspire somebody to want to be like you.
Yeah.
In the sense of how you dress.
Yes.
Where you live.
Yeah.
Like when someone looks at your life, do they really want to be like you to grow up? Do you inspire them?
Oyina gwokuba naye manyi
No,
gy'ogenda.
very many.
I know where you're going.
Most of them, and this is
Because we have discussed this topic
But
before.
Yeah, and
cuts
this is-
across.
this
It
is
cuts
what I'm
across.
ta-
Most
It's true, eh?
rappers
this
are
is
like
what
that.
I'm telling you. In the hood, we diss ourselves.
Mm.
We're like, yo, you've been, doing this for the past 5 years. I don't want to be like that.
Yes.
I want to go on to something else. If I'm selling food on a smaller scale, I'm
Yeah.
looking at a hotel. I'm looking at elevating, leave this
Yes.
place, and I've visited where I came from. Of course, before I moved to the forest.
Yes. Great.
Now
I
other
have
rappers
a
are
dope
gonna be-
idea by the
Yeah.
way. You remind me.
Yeah.
But to passports about Bone Forest, like it's a world you have to enter,
Mm.
and we have our immigration. Wali ku
Mm.
mulyango.
Mm.
Nenga green passport ya
Yeah.
Bone Forest. Like to be a member,
To
you
be a
must get that
member,
passport.
You need to have that.
Ate wano manyi waliwo record label tukopera abanyo podcast zaffe yizo okudduka amangu nekola leyo passport yayo.
Yes, for sure.
Yes.
So I was
yes,
asking Street, I was like, G needs to be here when I'm asking this.
Yes.
Would you rather own?
Mhm.
Yeah? Let me put it in our local
No,
context.
before you go there,
Yeah.
please pause on that question. When you said in the hood,
Yeah.
for tuzita ghetto,
Yeah.
bw'obeera mu ghetto nga toyagala kubeera nga muntu abadde ekola ekintu emyaka 5 nga
Yeah.
takyusaamu.
Yeah.
Waliwo quote gye bagamba, to become a master you must put in 10,000 hours. What if the guy is putting in 10,000 hours?
No, but there is putting
You
in
know that quote, eh?
I get it.
Yeah.
there is putting in 10,000 hours.
Yeah, you become a master.
And then somebody else comes and is doing the same thing, and then they are pushing past you.
Mm.
So to us, we are like there are some obvious things whereby
Yeah.
they shouldn't wait too long. Like the way we tell rappers here that you shouldn't wait for the most expensive camera to shoot a video.
To shoot a video.
You get
Oh my God.
yeah, like the technology is now with us. You can't
Yeah.
if you can't afford the phone, because they always like to go to extreme. I don't even have a phone. I don't even find friends. Oh, okay, find a stranger and tell them, yo, you have a nice phone.
Let me use your phone for a few hours.
Yeah, for a few
Yeah.
hours.
Yeah.
Let me find a way of getting that footage and everything. But you don't have to go to that extreme because, literally all the phones these days can do it.
There's on that topic, because we are meandering around a lot, but you're raising some very good points. Eh?
Mm.
There's a time a rapper showed me a song, and I had a song the rapper was going to promote. Eh?
Mm.
Nemugamba, and he was telling me, "Oh, I would want you to be there for my video." I'm like, "You're shooting a video already?" They're like, "Yeah. We're shooting the video on Thursday." I'm like, sometimes I just hold my mouth because you want someone to learn from experience.
Mm.
But I was designed a certain way that sometimes I don't want you to lose, because I'm here to save you time. I've been there before.
Yeah.
So I said, how much money is the video going to cost? So it's like 2.5. I'm like, you're going to spend 2.5 on a video of a song you're not so sure is a hit.
I get it.
Yet you can get someone's phone with a good camera
Yeah.
and shoot content. You shoot a lot of content on that one song
Mm.
until it's a hit. When you're sure it's a hit and it's viral, it's everywhere, then that's when you invest money for video.
Yeah.
I don't know if you took my advice, but that was my advice, that you would rather save that money and zikuberemu, ozikoze ebintu ebirala, because there's a lot. Music is very, very expensive.
Yeah.
And it's a struggle when you're coming up nga tolina sente
Yeah.
to just 2.5. Nze Zamba wo mu 2008 was about 2.5. Are you crazy? Ne bwebeera nga ya mitwalo 2 sizikuwa.
Yeah.
Kugamba kaninde oluyimba lukole kirukole, because most of the guys bano betumanya aba band, they used to perform the song several times in different places until they perfected how they were going to record it, and they knew how the crowd was reacting to the music, that they deemed the song worthy to be on the album. Oyimba banga basobola n'okubeera nalwo ng'emyaka 3 years performing a song before they take it to studio and record it to be on their album.
Wow.
Those are the bands you hear and you're like, man, when I listen to this music, that music, all of them are classics. It's because the crowd told them these are classics.
Yeah.
They did not just waste money any time. Actually, for them, it was, they didn't just waste tape and the producer's time and the resources, just wasting it gafla far. 2.5, yet we have a phone where you can buy data and
Yeah.
upload on TikTok.
Yeah.
Several different types of content. So I don't even don't remember what the point was. That brings me to another point. Remember when I did Dear Hip Hop and told people that I shot it with an iPhone?
Yeah.
And everybody was like, wow. So we'll talk about your video, your nagamba, because it says that sim. I shot it with an iPhone. I think iPhone 11 by then, twalimu COVID. In fact, na shootingira mukazi wange video na ina shootingira video. Na mushutingira searching, na ina shootingira Dear Hip Hop.
Searching is a very beautiful song. I love
Oh,
it.
chitegera. I love it too. I love it too. Kamoyo. Kaimba kamoyo. But when I did that, just for me to put on that thing, ngambe, this video was shot on iPhone 11. It was because nali njagala mu Uganda we have a difficulty of resources. Now coming back full circle to the conversation, yomu get at a 5 years. Nti, our challenge is resources. Nenga creativity tujirina. So why are we wasting the little resources we have when abantu baffe baagala luyimba na content ali entertaining? So shoot content. The phone is the new video company. Yiya ideas and you can just point them to yourself, be as creative with the ideas. Ekintu kigwe. Than okuteekamu sente zo zonna mu kintu ekimu kyotali sure about.
Yeah.
Now coming back to the guy oyo atava mu ghetto gw'ogambye, with what we've been discussing, what if their problem is resources?
Actually, because we live among each other,
Yeah.
you get to know what their problem is. And then you realize it's mindset.
Explain.
Because we are all in the same struggle. How we think about things and figure them out, you're like, you know what? We all don't have. But how we think about the things we want when we don't have, you realize other people are like, if I get just a little bit, I'm good.
Yeah.
And then some of us are like, yo, I gotta leave this place. I don't know how, but and we're singing.
I gotta be out of here.
Yeah, and we're singing like 24/7. I told my sister sometime that you just have to want it. The energy, you attract that energy when you want it.
Yeah, you have to manifest.
You're like, I want it.
Yeah.
I used to go to UBC every day. I never had a job,
Yeah.
but every weekend I would dress up, and that's how I met G, by the way. Every weekend.
I was waiting for you to say, but I was going to say, many people don't know how I met Collins.
Okay.
But the thing is that every time I went to UBC, there was a guy dressed so well, and he was in the crowd asking questions about hip hop. I'm like, this must be someone who really cares about hip hop.
Yeah.
So when I was away, I was in the US, but I really wanted to have a hub in Uganda,
Okay.
starting the company. I was like, who would be the best person to work with? Gasagala kudamu kola na some elements from my past. So I was like, who would be the best person that I would work with? Let me start with some fresh energy, someone who loves hip hop. And that's how we bonded. Sit on some hip hop shit.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
I went there every weekend, and to an extent where guys were like, you're wasting transport,
Yeah.
the little money you have,
Yeah.
you're going there, they ain't paying you, this and that, but I
Yeah.
will always show up to
Yeah.
show up.
Yes.
And I was like, when people get into your head, you have to create a blockage
Of
whereby
course,
you're
man.
like,
Yeah.
this is supposed to make me stop, but something will have to come out of this.
Okay.
Yeah.
They talk about giving birth,
Yes.
and people don't realize that every time, even when I told my friend I'm about to get a car,
Yeah.
you guys better, I don't know what
Better
you're gonna
be
do.
ready.
I'm pulling out, because that's how we always encouraged ourselves,
Yes,
like, yo, we have
yes.
to be great.
Yes.
We
you
have to be great.
You have to.
Yeah. I always use that line, and they don't like it. One of us goes in, and we all go through it.
Yeah, man.
So you understand?
Waliwo gonda akatabo ka Alexander Dumas
Yeah.
bakaita you might know this, like Three Musketeers.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I know
I
Three
also know that
Musketeers.
one.
One for all, so all for one, one for all.
Yeah.
It's taken.
Yeah.
So that's the mentality which we are going to be able to win with in hip hop and in our crafts.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Like, you should be happy that your dude is getting a car. You should be happy your dude is getting a new job. You should be
That's
able
for
to celebrate each other's wins.
Yeah.
It's about when your teams as win is more Hollywood, because I've been in Hollywood. It has been an education for me. But I look at Kevin Hart and his team, and I'm like, damn, I wish I had a team like that.
Yeah.
Because for him, whether it's marketing, it's his boys. Whether it's a new movie, it's his crew. Not handling everything else, but handling Kevin Hart as a person.
Yeah.
So he's on set, they're shooting the shit out of content.
Yeah.
He's on, here comes someone. Here comes the, on the Mwe mic, so you admire that brotherhood, and also with women, you admire the sisterhood of how Issa Rae's team holds her down.
Yeah.
The girl of Insecure, like you look at that and then you admire it. It becomes a machine.
Yeah.
Where all of you are invested in each other's futures going forward.
Yeah.
Over there.
Don't take off your shoes, of course. Okay, just push up a bit.
Yeah.
Push yourself in the corner.
I always fit in.
Hey. Okay. Well, yes. Before we were interrupted by some rowdy elements. You had a question for DJ Street.
Yeah. It's going to cut across, actually.
Yeah.
Would you rather own a regular motorbike? Let me say a regular motorbike.
Mm-hmm.
Why a motorbike?
Would you rather own a motorbike or rent a Ferrari or Lamborghini?
I would rather rent a Ferrari or Lamborghini, man.
For how long? Like, the question is not like that. Whatever. Like,
Would you-
how long
okay,
are we talking about?
Okay, it's a question of when guys say I would rather own this than having what's not mine.
Yeah.
So that's where my question is stemming from.
Okay.
But
Would you rather own a
but
bike?
the question is for Street first.
Okay, it depends on which conditions, by the way. So when it comes to my career, I would rather rent a Lamborghini rather than owning a bike, because it adds value. You get it? It adds value to me.
Yeah.
Nobody will hire you on a bike.
Yeah.
Nobody will hire you coming on a bike, man. Nobody will give you business. You won't sit in meetings.
You came to DJ my event on a Vespa.
On a Vespa. Guys will be like, I tell that guy to just leave.
Yeah.
Just pay him.
Yeah,
off
because
and
there are
it
guys
is
who say, at least this one is mine. You're just renting.
Ownership is better in so many instances. Now, yeah. Street, first finish.
Okay. I know every man by nature got own something.
On some, of course, everyone would love to own
Own
a Ferrari or a Lambo. But in this case, it's too expensive for you to be able to own it. You can only afford to rent it.
But Street, if you're renting it, that means you haven't reached the level
Of actually
to
owning
have
it.
it. So why are you faking? What's what Ulimba?
It's not faking.
Renting is
Renting
faking.
is faking.
Let me tell you,
No.
renting is not faking.
Renting
if
is
you can
faking,
afford
man.
to rent, you can literally buy the bike.
By the way, for me, before I bought my first car,
Yeah.
okay, there's something that comes to you whereby you feel like you have the car already.
Yeah.
I used to first rent them.
Okay,
Then after I got mine. because I
okay.
said
You
that
used to
you're
first rent
ready.
the car
Yes, then I bought
to go
mine.
do gigs, or what to
Yes,
like have
to
for
go
a
do
man.
gigs,
Yeah.
to go do gigs, and
Yeah.
at times to go take myself out. At times, because literally,
Nigga is on some self-love shit. I take
Yeah,
myself out.
yeah.
You know? It's, no?
that's always first thing on my to-do list. By the
Yeah,
way,
yeah.
I always
You treat yourself.
give myself the best treat. Then
Yeah.
after, but truth is, I would never own a bike when I can rent a car. Now, please.
For me, it's for safety reasons. I fear bikes because I've seen some motorbike accidents.
No, but we're speaking
and I'm like, that would never be me.
hypothetically speaking.
Hypothetically speaking.
Yes.
Now,
Like
before
in-
you come to me, let me first ask a photographer, because he's a professional photographer. Upcoming artist, professional photographer.
I think both.
He has made it in one realm. He thinks he can do another. Aloza byangu. Hey, Kati, Mr. Malin.
Yeah.
Would you rather rent a camera, or what would be the equivalent? Would you rather rent a camera, or
I think put them in.
or
Which
show?
type?
Would you rather rent a camera going to an event, right?
Yeah.
Or would you rather
Use
own a bicycle?
What?
I think
Because it says,
to best put it, it's like
Huh?
would you own, let me say, a regular camera
Yeah.
or rent the high-end camera like a Red or something?
Yes. Yeah. You put it in a better way.
Yeah.
So, to me, people are different. I believe God blesses people in a different way.
yeah,
There is somebody who has literally made it in his life renting stuff.
Yeah.
He can translate the energy of somebody else's stuff and make actually money out of it. But for me, the way I was raised, spiritually, I cannot be comfortable using something that doesn't belong to me. Because at the end of the day, I'm trying to reach that thing. I don't want to give myself that imagination that I'm there when I'm not there. Because let's say I want to use a Red, and what I can afford is a small, let's say, Canon camera.
No, we're talking
Yeah.
about you owning the Canon.
Yes, me
No,
owning the
yes,
Canon
you
or
own the
renting the Red.
Yes.
Yeah, you're renting the Red.
Yeah.
You're going to film the president.
Yes, it doesn't matter who you're going to. It doesn't matter who really you're going to film, because we have always been proven that it's not about what you use, it's about who is using it.
So some people can make a Canon look like a Red,
Bruh.
like it was shot with a Red.
Bruh,
Yes,
bruh.
because you see me.
It's-
No, let me
no.
answer. Let me answer.
Hold on,
Yeah.
hold on. Because when you go on, you're not going to get the point. The thing is, when you talk about, that's why I say hip hop wise, when it comes, it's for sure, So when you're coming through, how you present yourself is how you're going to be received and treated.
Alright.
You understand? So you're coming through to a presidential event, they're expecting you to use high-end equipment.
Yeah.
But you're coming through with this is my own. I know how to use it. They're gonna
Mine, I
be like,
know. I know lawyers who rent Mercedes Benzes to go to meetings with clients.
yeah, because when
So
they're
that they can
giving them
premium
fuel,
they can charge.
when they're giving them fuel, it's gonna be equivalent to
Okay, this is the thing. If I'm at the level of a Red, I will hire it. That means maybe I literally use.
If the client demands it.
Yes.
Because some clients can
Some
be like,
clients can
"You're
demand
shooting
it.
my shit with the Canon."
So what I'll do, cause me, let me answer that. Cause me personally, if I'm to rent something that I'm not, I'm going to fuck up. You get. So what I'll do, I will hire somebody who probably knows how to use a Red, and he will go shoot it for me and understand my image. But me personally, going to use something that I'm not,
You mean
suit.
vision and understand your vision. Someone who
Yeah.
understands your vision.
'Cause-
I like that approach actually.
Yeah.
I really like that approach.
because it benefits everybody at the end of the day.
renting, you're choosing to rent.
Yeah, but then I'm getting
Because
somebody
you're
to
hiring and
operate it.
renting, Yes. Because I think it goes down to even the fake artists and rappers who know how to show up.
Yeah, most of those artists are broke.
Yeah,
They show up.
but they know how to show up, and you realize that they're the ones getting the gigs. They're the ones in the rooms where they never.
Yeah, it depends what you're
They are the
chasing
guy-
at the end of the day,
You can fake it till you make it. It has worked for some people.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It doesn't always work.
Because people always judge. by
Actually,
what they
hip hop.
see.
Here is the thing about hip hop. You made me realize a point which I was thinking about some time back. Hip hop is about sometimes in the hood. Well, I'm
Yeah.
not talking strictly America.
Yeah.
Hip hop is is people know you have to fake it till you make it, right? But sometimes people are like, "Bro, we know you're faking." And they're like, "We know you're faking." Like Busta Rhymes, we know that chain ain't real. But then there's a version of hip hop now where Busta Rhymes shows you that you're speaking at a level because you're poor.
Mm.
It's like you can't think that a chain can be this big because a rapper like me couldn't spend that much money on a chain.
Yeah.
Like you're thinking here while I'm already there. So hip hop is also like Pop Smoke when he came out. He had the whole New York on lock. Everybody said Pop Smoke is the next 50 Cent. There's no doubt about it. And they are like, Pop Smoke. Rolls Royce is like, wow. I don't think he got the advance they gave him on his album was just $750,000. It can't. Even if he wanted to, he has to pay so and so and so. They calculated things about percentages. Jao. Then a nigga goes and hosts a club for $100,000 a night, $100,000 a night, and he's like, I want you to do the math. That's why even Mick Mill in his jam he says, when I bought the Aston Martin, they thought he was winning. Like the shit too big to fit in a parking spot. Like they thought it was leased.
Yeah.
Like hip hop is about that. People know you're faking because you're from the hood.
Yeah.
But it's also about assuring them that where you think I'm still faking, I left that level already.
Yeah.
So it's always like it's a good point that you raised.
Yeah,
but
it's crazy. Even when you're faking it, it's happening in real time.
I think there's also manifestation and affirmation where the faking it turns real. Actually, I think that's how the universe works.
Yeah, because if I'm wearing a chain and it's shining,
yes,
everyone is looking at it. You're next to me because you know. That's why Biggie was like, why are you trying to, I saw alligators on my
shirt.
And you're trying to get close
to get on the inside, like Biggie, I'll see you later. Oh, no,
Yeah.
they say, that's the nigga with the fake, pow, why you punch me in my face? Stay in your place.
Stay in your place. So at the end of the day, like...
That means Biggie was wearing fake shit.
Yeah, but...
Yeah. But no, he told this, I'm not trying to listen. He told the story himself.
Yeah.
Himself told the story.
Yeah.
Because, alligator is a brand of t-shirt.
Yeah.
So as check away ajijja na ajisowinga ku t-shirt ye. Away no jene alligator no suspect.
I remember Sway is it from Ray Cermat?
Yeah, Sway Lee. Yeah.
Sway Lee, he went to a shop.
Yeah.
And then, they were asking him how much was this. Then after they told him, but your sneakers, man, they ain't real. He's like, are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Like, Muhammad sold to me this shit is real. They showed him like how it's sold and everything. He was like, fuck Muhammad.
Muhammad got him, man.
Muhammad got him. Yeah, but it was shining.
Yeah.
A lot of times people have walked up to me and they're like, we were requesting the blue Benz that is parked outside.
Yeah.
Then the owner, I'm
Oh
like,
my days.
See how you're looking. That's
Talking
what
about
shit.
owner, they come to you and they're like, bruh, your Benz is blocking.
So my friends are like, nah, it's not his. What. Then after I tell them, but wait till I can own one. How will it be? I won't even be here with you niggas.
It's when your fantasy meets when your reality meets its imagination and they are simultaneous. I think that's the most beautiful picture. I can tell you this. When I did Ani Aliamanyi the song, fine, I was rapping about things that I thought were cool.
Yeah.
I hadn't reached there, actually. Kalinga, on a level of Uganda, Ewafe. Of course, I was in Rouge drinking some champagne. I was doing all these other things, like from poverty, like on that level.
Yeah.
But I remember my manager by then telling me, we need to shoot a video for this shit. And my answer was, nah. You know why? Because the picture that I have in my mind of Ani Aliamanyi should be much higher.
Much higher.
It was like much higher. So, one time I'm in the US. And I felt it. I was like, I think this is the moment. Yeah. Well, you're like, yeah. I think this is the moment where I can shoot an Ani Aliamanyi video. Yeah. So, bruh, topic here is deep in Arabic.
I know, bro.
It's like really deep.
Because really, your imagination starts to show up in real time.
Time.
Showing you that, you're on, like, it's very possible.
Yeah.
And the people around you can't see it. They can't see it. and it comes with faith and believing that it's really, really possible.
Yeah.
You know.
On my second album, not my second album, on my latest album, The Homecoming, there's a song there where I'm rapping about being on the Mediterranean in Santorini, and there's a yacht docked in the Mediterranean for us.
Yeah.
But me and my wife are in a hot air balloon, and there's a chef up there cooking us rigatoni. And I was like, sometimes I'm in moments like that, then I think about my grandmother teaching me ba enene, ba entono, a enene, a entono. And I'm like, zijukira jajjange bwe yanjigiza bwe bapanga line kati microphone gikwatanga nkumbi na muyini nze inspiration y'abaana ba ghetto abawandiika paka nga taddo beeweddemu eddikini. That line najiteekawo because I was looking at the Zamba who was in somewhere in Bukoto. And bruh, I was trying to finish the Koi Koi album, piece things together. I would write to forget that I was hungry. So I know right now there's someone watching this podcast, Ngali mu ghetto, and is probably Uganda's best rapper ever. When I write stuff like that and reflect on those moments, Zemanda have a blueprint to inspire someone to do better.
Yeah.
I am where I am because, not that I'm, but everything that the rappers I listened to talked about, they inspired me to do. When Jay-Z talked about buying when he talks about buying Ace of Spades, the moment I get to Hollywood and I'm at Chateau Marmont, guess what I'm going to order? If I can afford it. I'm going to order a bottle of Ace and Spades. Yeah. But you can get it cold, and I'm going to be like, okay, that's what Ace of Spades tastes like. Yeah. Then it will be up to me to either continue doing that or be on when guys were like, pass the Kavasi, yeah. You know? Like for me, hip-hop has raised me to a point where it's almost, it's the blueprint out of poverty.
Yeah.
It's my inspiration. It's my therapy. I don't even know how to put it, man. But most of these rappers, I think, said most of those things when they were lying. You get me? But they painted a pretty picture that most people who are inspired by hip-hop learn to work harder and have a work ethic to achieve those things.
And I think I watched an interview with Memphis Blake, and it was like Jay-Z was with us, but he had to leave us because the things we were on, Jay-Z was already looking to, he was making deals, and for us we were telling him about other things. He was looking, yo, you have to add on to, you have to chase this money, you have to make moves and everything. Yeah. So when you see the moves he's making now, it was the sacrifice of, I'm not going to be with my guys. Chilling in the bar, drinking and everything, what they're on at that time. Yeah. So right now he's owning, different companies and everything.
The brother is the curator for the halftime show. The biggest show in the world is entrusted to a rapper. Guys, let me tell you about racism in America. For Jay-Z to be the curator of the halftime show, bruh, that's too much. In Kanye West's words, no one man should have all that power. You get me?
And guys there were like, like, is it guys sit on a round table until the other guy came and was like, no, it's solely Jay-Z's decision.
That's Rock Nation, man. That's the power of Rock Nation. But he built Rock Nation out of knowing that Rockefeller Records was dead.
Yeah.
Okay. I think the point that you're trying to make of, they were still on some other tip where his mind had already moved on to something else.
Yeah.
Him and Dem Dash had to first separate a bit because Dem Dash had where he was promoting Cameron as the CEO of. It's like someone coming in our baboon forest and telling me, GNL no longer shows up to office. You're the CEO now. Like nigga, JC was like I was on vacation in France. And before I know it, I'm seeing them announcing the chairman of CEO of Rockefeller without my approval. Yeah. And that lands us on another point in Uganda, which we have, where It's not only in Uganda, it's everywhere in the world. And I think it was Dem Dash's biggest mistake. It's people always thinking they are smarter than the artist. It's some degree of patronizing, because every time I saw Dem Dash's interview, he was always talking about my artist, this and this. Like he owns Jay-Z. You get me? And then he tried to do things to undermine the power of Jay-Z. He began spending company money to keep up with Jay-Z. And Jay just looked at that and is like, I think it has come to the end of this relationship. So he births Rock Nation out of Rockefeller. But that chapter, in a way, there's even some interview where the boys are acting like rowdy hood boys, and you can see Jay-Z's bored because the interview was for him, but everybody in the background is shouting, Jay-Z's the next Michael Jackson, blah, blah, blah. Like, dude is just there looking like so bored.
I'm done with this.
He's like, I'm done with this shit. Like, I totally understand when you say that.
Yeah.
That elevation of Gamba kati enolevo njivudeko. There's another one to reach out to.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Aiming high.
Let me ask you a question. Who are your biggest inspirations, Mo Hip Hop? If hip hop is where your heroes are.
Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Diddy, although, you know.
Diddy? On what? In what
Oh
way?
my
Because
days. No.
that's why you're always buying baby oil, eh?
Of course. Come on, bro.
Oh God!
I saw you start.
I'm not safe.
No,
man.
you started from the bottom. Now you're here. Like you started with one bottle. Now you have 1,000. Eh?
You know, it's because for us down here, we don't even understand the spectrum of that. Like what's happening with Diddy right now.
Yeah.
He's
Our
free.
inspiration is totally different. It's like musical. He's a musical mogul.
Yeah.
Everything he achieved,
Yes.
you know. And of course, the recent situation wasn't giving him a good picture. But when you think of the music he's made and the way he's moved from managing a rapper to him rapping himself and then being able to
one of the biggest record labels in the world.
in that sense. And when you look at his hustle from way back, young boy from Harlem, and then he's trying to get into a record label, he was given $100, and
he started with hosting parties, by the way.
Yeah.
Then we moved on to events, big events. Yeah.
So in terms of how great can you be, I think for me it is Jay-Z. And of course, when it comes to UG, it's you, because I'm like,
guy, you're so flattering me.
Because the only person who is trying to put up a structure that can operate and serve other people, and it's not even the only time from way back.
Yes.
From way back, because we watch. Some people watch, and the other guys who are not inspired by you, they're only inspired by you probably in music.
Yeah.
But they don't see the lifestyle, and they don't live up to it.
Yeah.
They only form groups, and then they are eating some green leaves and all that. I don't know who still eats that stuff these days. Who still, like, in a modern day where people are trying to be great and be urban. Some people are like, just is it uptown and downtown. I'm like, who is working to stay downtown? Everyone who is in Chikubo is wishing they have they're in a mall selling and their prices are like, they're getting real money.
Oh, another song where I was talking about the ghetto struggle. Still in Aliamanya, I was talking about a Mutembe who now owns a shop.
Exactly.
Like there's a blueprint in my lyrics.
Yeah.
Like it's always about Tudako to Zako. Especially next stage, it's very
these guys
important.
don't even know how to.
Yeah.
How do you call it? They don't know how to squeeze the juice out of your lyrics.
Yeah.
They copy and stop somewhere. They don't really, which can't apply in their life.
Okay. I have a question, by the way. Okay, it's open to everyone. What rank is Ugandan hip-hop in Africa?
Atutandiseko kati oyagala tumanyira.
No, please.
Oyagala kumanyira Ugandan hip-hop kubanga
last time the
G's
G's were
here,
Africa. The G's were here.
I asked the same question sometime back also.
And then one of the guys who was unapologetic was like, we are nowhere. and then other rappers were like, they know us, but we're in the background saying, bro,
Yo, I'm processing that.
You understand, like the truth. You know that point where they said the truth is.
The truth is,
This is it, but the truth is.
What's the truth?
Okay.
Yo, we are cooked.
You guys are afraid of mentioning names, but we did a podcast before the Yenze Hip Hop Festival.
Yeah.
And I asked the same question Street has asked. I was like, guys, on this hip hop totem pole in Africa, where does Ugandan hip hop lie? And I was like, man, the Sakodis, I see Sakodi, I see whatever. Where are we? T-Bro was like, bruh, we are under the carpet, we even know where.
Cooked, man.
They don't know us. They don't listen to us.
Yeah.
They don't even want to know.
Bruh, like T-Bro Sebo. Then I tried to defend and be like, man. No, Lyrical J at first was like, man, they know us. But Kwegumia just, man, we are just the underdogs. I'm like, okay, that's a very good point. But then, let me tell you something. Sabula,
there is no time.
The people who have been telling us about the international since we were kids. Over shows are with
Oh, God.
Break down.
I mean, I see Joshua Baraka making moves everywhere. Bichi.
Yeah.
Now these people, unless it's an organization, an NGO saying, come and be a part of this project, there's no international appeal there.
You mentioned Joshua Baraka.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say he's a close friend of mine, but we've hung out with the friends who are my friends, and we talk and everything.
How is he as a person? I've never met him.
No, he's very cool and very normal and down to earth.
He's the best artist you can meet.
No, like he's...
Wait, why are you insulting me while I'm writing?
He's cool.
He's the best artist.
No, I'm talking about character. Like he's super calm. Like you can't
cool,
really
but
find
then,
something to hate about him.
Okay, that's gracefully cool.
Me,
He's a Kawempe boy, by the way.
I pray for him.
Yeah.
I pray. I pray it becomes a reality in the sense of the way we've been moving globally, representing UG.
So is he Uganda's Sean Kingston?
Actually, that speaks to his character. Because guys who are dissing him.
No, Sean Kingston's character apparently. Sean Kingston is in jail with him.
I'm talking about Joshua Baraka's
But I'm just talking about
character.
his voice and appeal.
Definitely.
His voice, bro. You're not talking about his voice and appeal. I know what you're talking about. But Joshua is losing weight though, slowly, which is okay.
That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying.
Confused, bro. Like,
that's not what. Oh my
what are we
God!
talking about?
Your mind went over there. Kali. That's not what I'm saying.
This is not gonna end well. This is not going to end well.
I love Joshua Baraka. Why would you want to put that out there?
No, Ugandans have always had the homeboy, and I like the way he reacts to them. It's like, even quotes them. It's like,
he's the teddy bear.
Yeah, it's like, one time I was reading and he was like, man, and he also laughs at the jokes. And I like that about him because at the end of the day, he knows.
What was that? Daddy, that's because he's called.
I'm
a man who's not going to call another man daddy. Daddy bear, no, teddy bear artists, but fine. Maybe for the ladies, because this brand is mainly for the ladies.
Yeah.
But among Ugandan artists that I've really, really, really loved listening to for being away is Joshua Baraka. Joshua Baraka and Kenneth Mugabe, I think.
Yeah.
And then Nava Yali Timeless, of course. Yeah. The list is endless. Uganda's like very, very good music, except that right now people who have music taste and discernment have let the idiots run the show. like there's a screen of idiots. There's idiots in the house, Uganda. Like they have blocks all the talented artists. The talented artists are behind. They are behind the idiots. Okay, let me use it. What's a better word I can use besides idiots? Clowns, yeah. So it's
a circus. They won't even get it.
It's a circus. So the talented artists of Uganda, and not just the artists, by the way, but also like it's the whole thing that describes the country right now.
Yeah.
That the people who are intelligent, who are talented, like really genuinely talented, they look at the music industry and they're like, I would rather stay in my house.
Yeah, for real, bro.
I would rather stay in my house. Like for me to make a decision to release another album and come back to the music industry. People don't know this, but I've been in Uganda for how long? Before I started to actively accept interviews. For some time. I would come in and out. I would do my thing, or whatever. But it was because I was battling with the decision of, do I really want to jump back into the pigsty? Do I really want to jump back into the terror dome, into the cesspool of people's opinions and negativity? Like, it really, really was a decision I battled with for like about 3 years, of if I really want to jump back into Uganda's music industry. Because honestly, sente weziri, abana bakola sente. But the things you have to endure to get paid, the opinions hesitantly constructive that you have to listen to even feel a show, you have to go on your knees and lick people's boots to buy a table. There's no honor in someone loves your music purely to come on the merit of that. You have to go humble yourself, tuck your dick between your tuck your dick and balls between your, I don't know, wherever they can be seen. Get a mangina and go beg. Guys, I'm telling you, these are the realities. Nobody's going to say this. But you really have to tuck your balls, tuck your dick, kneel. Sometimes, in some instances, you've seen so many artists kneel, because it's not on the merit of how good they are, and they are really, really talented. But it has been designed that in the industry, to be able to succeed, you have to be humiliated. I was telling you, I always tell people about people have to patronize you. Even if they like you, they have to first patronize you in order to support you. Someone made a comment and said, tebaza kushoya Zamba, kubanga Zamba achalimu olumerika. Bagala kuwagira mwavu. Okitegeera?
Yeah, that's the culture now.
It's the culture that you have to show you're so poor that you are in dire need. I've seen artists kneel before cameras. It's not that I'm above kneeling. I kneel and pray to God. I really do. I think that's the only person I want to kneel to. And maybe because I'm a Muganda, also in front of my king, I'll do that out of respect and because, magulu nyondo. But I think it says more about the person who's being knelt for than it is about the artist. The hand that's giving, there's a saying about the hand that gives not being like, but I found that in this industry, they love to humiliate artists before they can support them. I don't know where that culture came from. Like, they don't want to support people while they're standing on their feet.
Yeah.
But you look at everybody's journey from the time when we had nothing. I mean, we still have struggles, like really, really big struggles that people may never know about. But bagala supporting, I don't know how to put it. You cannot be respected while you're standing on your feet.
Yeah.
Like, nigga, come humiliate yourself in front of this place.
Yeah.
Then I'll think about maybe supporting you. But those are the facts and those are the realities. But I really, really like when the ideal, because I know artists in Uganda who would have had shows, but they look at the humiliation ratio and they're like, I'd rather not. Let me invite 50 people and entertain them privately. Can you show on a place where we have some artist parking, at least one artist entrance, yeah? You're next. But trust me, by the time I left Uganda, even if they put you on the ticket for some of those shows as Alinga, Nachivubo, or those mega big shows, they pay you, by the way. But they pay you in such a way that Baksukan Bakwako 50% deposit. Some people on a bower. But when people are backstage, and it's usually like very busy days where you have other engagements, literally artists are fighting to be next. You get what I'm saying? You look at artists with big names humiliating themselves, begging the guy to announce him next because the people from the next village where he has to drive to. Promoter agenda mutta ayagala kugenda. You told him to perform at 3 p.m. Go, for God's sake, it's 7 p.m. right now. Musajja mukulu used to look at our elders begging people like, bruh, respect the time. I really have to be somewhere else. Kanaka Center akagala. Eri bagenda kubera disappointed. But guess who the blame comes to if the artist does not show up there?
Manager.
Tawana manager.
The artist.
The artist did not show up. The blame for things failing in Uganda is always the artist's fault. They never recognize that other issues are at play. It's never so and so didn't do their job.
Yeah.
It's never so and so did not hold fort when they were supposed to hold fort. It's never. It's always the art. It's easy to blame an artist in Uganda, but let me not sound like I'm venting. Like we're supposed to build the skills to communicate messages, to entertain people, and be the therapy for their trauma. Don't expect an artist to market things. If they do market, it's because they really passionately care about something.
I was told in Nigeria the Wiz kids don't promote their shows; they just put up billboards.
Wow, Chiraba, kati level ndala.
But they just put up billboards,
and they're like,
they
I'm
don't
coming.
go to TVs and radios. Yeah, but it's because the people have understood that, you know, the people have,
okay. Yeah, we're with you. We're with you, man.
okay. Yeah, the people have understood that this is our artist and we have to support.
Yeah.
If they put up a concert, then who else is going to go if we don't?
Yeah.
Because they represent their own. You can't let your own fail in your own country.
That's true. But also Nigeria is 300 something million people.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Like the number of people that
how many are we?
Like if I'm to put a billboard.
50.
No, we're
40 something.
We're 50 already.
50,
We're not yet 50.
No, we're 45 somewhere, I
45,
think.
48.
Okay, estimate that 45 hours.
Yeah.
In Nigeria, so in Uganda, if I'm to put up a billboard in Tinda, that's a working billboard because so many people pass that route to go to Chanja, where. Now, if I put a billboard on Lugogo bypass, inzo kubera losi. Fewer people pass there.
But I think they also have a street whereby
It's the major
they
street.
announce, where they announce the major events
Like
and
they're
everything.
square
Like
or
Times
something.
Square,
I mean, that's a
like
flex. That's a
Yeah.
flex. We don't have that here.
Yeah.
It's nowhere.
Here they tell you first pay so and so with a van to go shouting.
Yo, oh
There's
God.
also this guy
You can't even
that
figure
makes
out.
banners. If you don't pay that guy, he has to make you banners and you tie them around poles in Kampala.
Yeah.
You can't even figure out if it's a new album or what.
You guys,
Mhm.
there's something that has been burning on the airwaves,
Yeah.
cooking up, and I think it's time we talk about it.
What's
Let's
that?
talk about the Yenze festival.
Hey, the Yenze festival.
Yenze became Yenze.
Yenze
But
became Yegwe.
it's very interesting
Yeah.
because some of us see a lot the way people react to things. It's the same. The matrix has not changed in Uganda.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same. I was telling my brother here, Jonathan, I was telling him something else is going to come up and they're going even amidst what is happening, they want to jump on it real quick and jump onto the next,
Yeah.
you know. And at the end of the day, I was disappointed in at least the stakeholders in hip hop. I've always been, but this time I was like, why would you let people who are not hip hop speak for hip hop? And then you pay attention and you even quote them, and then you're like, so and so said this and they were right. I'm like, but what are you saying? You understand? What are you yourself saying in terms of, because to me, I was looking at hip hop being belittled. You understand? I was looking at hip hop. I was feeling for hip hop. I'm like, and everyone else is comfortable. You know, situations where we have to come together and defend hip hop. People are choosing. Some are choosing to sit back and look.
Mm.
You know, others are choosing to hype the guys
Yeah.
who are not even, you know, hip hop, whom I don't consider hip hop. Someone
Yeah.
sent me. Honestly speaking, I never watch these guys.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. I see. First of all, the way they are dressed, I'm like, nah, this not my.
Omugobera okungoye.
Yeah. Because I'm like, no, what is he going to say that?
Yeah.
Unless sometimes when something is funny, maybe I could give it time. But other than that, not at all. So they
Yeah.
sent me a guy who is always criticizing politicians and everything.
Yeah.
And this,
And then,
that local chap, Bajo.
no. I don't. Who's
Please.
Bajo?
Bajo event. Some local chaps, some local critic, he jumps on everything.
I wouldn't. Man, and most of these are grown men. I don't know what they're doing. Talking about everything, gossiping. That's some bitch shit.
I'll never forget when speaking about people who don't know hip hop nenga bamwesibako.
Yeah.
And they feel insulted bobagamba hip hop temumanyi.
Yeah.
But I remember when someone confidently looked in the camera and they said, GNL yakoze a list of top 10 rappers in Uganda. Nene Labirono Muwala Sentinel said. You guys remember that?
I don't remember.
You saw it, right?
No.
Yeah. He spoke it with so much confidence, and I'm like, the amount of misinformation when they were truly.
It's crazy.
Yeah. He didn't even know the top 5. Kati ye bamugambe no topic wat kali yetunda wano kati yetunda najja n'akikubira awo. N'agamba ono omuwala gwe bayita Sentinel said teyamwogeddeko.
Omwana Sentinel said.
Hey, twala kalaba ka clip. Yeah.
But all in all, for me, let me talk about my experience at the Yenze Festival.
Yeah.
I felt real love for hip hop. By the way, it was as a DJ, I got to listen and interact with many hip hop artists. By the way, hip hop is rich. I've been in interaction with more dancehall artists, but when you relate, hip hop is better. And hip hop is a lifestyle that I think every person has to embrace. Because I had there's a guy that Judas Rap Knowledge. Guy was rapping. Which language is that he raps in?
I think Acholi.
Acholi. Yeah. Bro, Acholi is also nice when you're rapping on beats.
You never had Lumix? Lumix was the dawn.
Yeah.
Lumix is the forefather of Acholi Flow.
Wow.
He was on look for a song called True Manhood. But besides even True Manhood,
I know the song. Hey,
like
that guy.
Lumix.
Yeah, I know Lumix.
Lumix was the dawn, man.
Lumix, yeah.
Rest in peace, Lumix. Yeah.
Oh, R.I.P.
Yeah.
So another thing was, people still love hip hop, by the way. But what I would suggest is, many rappers still have this, how do I call it, this ego. There's a rapper that I know that is good at rapping, and nigga was like, today I'm not rapping, I'm with my team. I was like, wait, this is the best platform. You need to showcase yourself, man. Most rappers don't have videos in their songs.
People don't even have videos.
Yes,
but
for their songs, it would be the best platform.
They don't even have good pictures, by the you are talking about Nkubi, eh? Okay, now
Don't say they don't have good pictures.
You know what
They
I'm going to
don't
do
have
now?
my
They don't do
number.
photo shoots.
They don't do photo. Okay, so that was a platform for someone to get like some good pictures. Wouldn't you agree? Like, if I was an upcoming artist.
Definitely.
Okay, I'm going to stop speaking honestly because check when you get honestly, because I just said something which I believe should be basic in marketing and branding an artist.
Yeah.
Good pictures, good stage. Like if I saw that when I was trying to ngasukumanyi, but I'm trying to gauge if you can perform at the next event. If I saw that you have been on some stages that are respectable, I'll give you priority over the guy who looks like he's in a Malwa spot.
Yeah.
Nchilaba?
Yeah.
Because I would expect professionalism like from you than from that. So
I think what you should start doing is speaking like Jesus in parables.
let me start speaking in parables now.
That one is too straight.
That was a story. That was a
Position of power you're in.
It's too much.
If you come direct,
Bajja kwelipira obwo balowooza bagenda funa hit.
other people may go and hang themselves.
No, but that's hip hop, though.
Okay, I'm going to let you have this discussion for just a minute.
My best performer, there's this guy Antico, there's the gospel guys, then there's also that guy Judas, there's this chick Joey, My Joey 7 star was also her performance was nice. Joey 7 star, yes.
Be-
Yeah, Colin.
because I was back and forth backstage and all that.
Yeah.
I didn't get too much of the event, like watching the performers. But while I was on the sides, at some point, when I was moving, I saw Felista pull up,
Oh my god.
and the vibe,
Yes.
how she looked in terms of her dress code.
Yes.
I'm like, I even told my friend, I'm like, I think because I'm passionate about artists
Yeah.
and whom I see potential in,
Yeah.
I'm always like, I'll have to probably try and help talk to the dad to guide, the steps ahead. Because, like earlier on, I was trying to say that I pray for Joshua Baraka because, like, when I saw him perform where Ed Sheeran performed, in the UK,
Yeah.
I'm like, that's already a connection to the greats.
I
You
get it.
understand? And I'm like, I just wish it gets into that bubble that can never be broken.
Okay.
Whereby you can stay consistent and just start being booked on higher platforms with the Justin Biebers and all those guys and everything, in a way that it because Ugandans have a way of dragging the great people down.
Okay.
Ugandans can fight to break you. So that's why I'm like, I pray for Joshua to get to that level where he's unbreakable.
That's about humanity.
Yeah, where he can't be shaken. Yeah?
It's deep.
Like,
Y-
guys
y-
are fighting.
Earlier we were talking about. You told me to start speaking in parables.
Yeah. I like them.
So we discussed a parable here of a seed that grew in fertile soil and blossomed, and then there was a seed that grew in sand. Yabeerako awo katono n'ebwaka. And then there was a seed that landed on a rock. That seed struggled so hard for its roots to reach the ground. But for him, by miracle, the roots tapped the what? The ground. And it decided to say that, you know what? Now that there is hope, let me divert all my nutrients and all my power to this one thing that has tapped the ground. So it went on growing under and creating its roots. You get me? And then one day, that seed had become a little tree. And that little tree put on a flower. And it hoped. Its pollens were out. It hoped that a bee would come and pick some of its pollen so it would multiply. Now, I want you to slow this down. The wings of the bee are coming in the air. Slow motion. Ochitegeera. Compound vision. The bee is about to reach the pollen. A Ugandan slapped the bee.
Ugandan
came and slapped the shit out of the bee and even stepped on it, even cut the root, uprooted the branch, and then threw and used that shit. Actually, didn't even use it to like make tea or what. Just like uprooted it and then threw it somewhere else. If that bee had pollinated, there would be more fruit for this Ugandan to eat. There would be more fruit for this Ugandan to eat. But this Ugandan tayagala kumanya. Ate yagala nnyo ebyonoonese.
So I feel like it's a society thing because me personally, I've grown up in other societies.
Yes.
Not all Arabs.
Yes.
My mother's side, we
Yeah.
have a lot of Arabs. You can find a house is like having 7 boys.
Yeah. Is that, give him more volume on that.
It's having like 7 boys.
Yeah.
And then these 7 boys have all married. They've built this big mansion. Like it's very big to accommodate everybody separately with their own families.
Yeah.
These 7 boys have their wives and their kids. They have dinner, lunch, and supper
Mm.
together.
Yes.
So they cover the bills together. They
Mm.
buy 7 cars.
Yes.
You buy a Lamborghini, buys a Bugatti,
Yes,
buy
yes.
anything, Ferrari. We keep switching our cars.
Yes.
At the end of the day, all our businesses are like connected. I think you can
If
actually.
the family alone, if they open a shop, one of their family members can open a shop and it feeds all of them.
Everybody, like
Yeah,
literally.
yeah.
I think you can witness this with, like, let's say the Saudis, the
Yeah.
families, and
Yeah.
Dubai. You see the family. It's a family thing. So that's the thing that we don't have.
First, come sit here for a minute because I'm not hearing you properly. Yeah.
I feel like that's one thing. You can hear me now.
Yeah.
That's one thing that we don't have as Africa. Because I believe, probably, because I don't know so much history about my own people, it's so sad. But I think back then we had this in our culture. Where
We did. We actually did. Yeah.
we valued having our huts together. We have our herd of cattle there, and we have our gardens. So everything we grow, we go and sell it at once, and we make money that benefits everybody.
And if you found someone trying to steal your brother's cows, what would you do?
Yo, you're cooked.
You cook.
But now, I don't know what happened midway. Suddenly, people switched up. And now, we...
I
I can go back now.
Yeah, because now you're using double. Yeah.
So suddenly, things switched up. We somehow believe that if we get the bread alone, it's much more better than getting it collectively.
Yeah.
And it can only run for a short time. Because even me personally, I feel like no matter how much I grow,
Yeah.
if I don't have anywhere else to take my pollinated seeds to grow more,
Yes.
I'll die an old tree that is very big and it can't go anywhere.
Yes. Yes.
So I think we are locked up
yeah.
and we need to like survive that
No, we
as a society.
yeah. We really need to, and it's up to us, the artists, to actually unlock that power, because that power is already within us. But like beginning to see things back as a community. Chijja tutasebe into being engineer that if you realize that bee coming to pollinate that is going to create more trees out there. The seeds are going to disperse, and before you know it, that tree becomes a forest, a baboon forest.
Forever, right?
Balina, the forest is forever. Yeah, but that community element, that our egos now as artists also. No, besides the society itself, because the society itself, it needs people to write the stories and the poems, and for you photographers to capture the right moments and focus the society's attention to certain things.
Yes.
If you don't show us that girl, if you choose to shoot a street child designing her first clothes, right? Yeah. And there's a story there, but if you sacrifice that story to show us who was the biggest bum in Kampala,
I know.
Like there are some things where one is beneficial, the other one is just whatever. So the decision again rests on us as the artists. What kind of stories do we tell? Are they inspiring, or do they just maintain the status quo? That's a
beautiful point, actually.
Yeah, but there is where I'm going to use my art to create a positive narrative and to inspire other people to do the same or even to do better. Yeah, show society a different lens, which is like inspirational.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah, and I think also the society per se. Some people do things because of what has inspired them, where they come from, the things they are dealing with personally in life. They feel like they've tried to do right so much that they just need to do one wrong thing at least to see what's going to come out.
The venturing and stuff.
Yeah.
And usually when they do that one wrong thing, it works out.
I know.
And then they're like, shit.
I could do this 1,000 times.
I'm going to smack the hell out of niggas to get shit.
And I think, okay, to that point, I think we just have to be patient with ourselves.
Yeah.
Because if you want good for yourself, just picture yourself as somebody who has grown so big in whatever you're doing, and then trust me, I think everybody at his climax wants this. You want to plant your seeds somewhere.
Whoa! Pause. There's a double entendre in what you've just said. Climax, and then plant your seed. you married? You
You're like, let's say
not
you've
to
achieved so
stupid.
much greatness,
Yeah.
and you're like, wow,
Yeah.
I've done so much. And I feel like the thing that can actually satisfy you at that moment when you've
That's
done
most-
so much.
It has the most satisfaction.
Pardon?
Let's go on.
Oh, God.
But I get what you're saying.
Yeah, it's actually to spread that. So I feel like we need to look.
What's wrong with you, bro? Climax. Plant seed.
God, please.
Doing to your most
You're so toxic.
satisfaction. Like spread.
Oh, my
Man,
God.
you're either the most nasty poet I've ever heard, or you're just.
I know this is going to be taken out of context.
Who is that? Who likes to sing explicit lyrics?
Yeah, like you have double entendres. You have double entendres. Trust me, that's how minds of rappers think. Like what you're saying, they're trying to connect dots and be like,
What is he talking about?
Omuntu no?
This is going to be taken out of context, but it's.
yeah.
But I think everybody gets it.
Yeah, I think they get it. But are we trying to be? There's a word called altruistic. Altruistic where you try to imagine an utopia that the reality escapes you. Are we trying to imagine a world for Uganda which is gone and will never come back?
That's what
There's
I'm doing.
no more empathy. On twagala byonoone se. They don't phrase that twagala byonoone se. They just want.
Yeah. That's why I keep telling my friends,
Oh, God.
I'm bouncing out of this joint.
Yeah.
I don't see myself coming back.
Okay.
But the truth is,
Yeah.
because of my ambition, I
Yes.
feel like every place has an inspiration of greater heights.
Oh yes. Now just finish your point.
Yeah.
I have a rebuttal for
and
you.
I'm like, I want to get there
Mm.
and push to the limit what great people there like are about and everything. Because in Uganda it's like we are so close.
Okay.
In Uganda it's like we are even close to our president that we feel it's normal.
Which president? Not the ghetto president.
All of them.
Because I'm not close to
All of
I'm not
them.
close to Sevo.
No, I'm talking about in a sense whereby you see Trump. He can't
I wish I was close to Sevo and Bobby at the same time.
see,
You know, right? You'll be like, oh.
My ninjas.
Trump can't speak. Like
Yeah.
when we see him on TV, it's like he's a regular guy whom you can find maybe and talk to. But the level at which he's at and the things the things he can do
In
even the guys who
reality.
are even the presidents who have retired how they move still is different. They still have the Secret Service, they still have they are given.
But trust me,
say,
Trump even before he was president, he was not a regular guy.
Yeah.
like Trump was born to a multi-millionaire real estate guy. His dad, actually, people could get a guy him because he says, my dad gave me a small loan of $1 million to start a company. Guys are like, a small loan of $1 million? Most Americans don't touch $1 million until they die. A guy who owns Trump Tower, he has a big-ass building in New York called Trump Tower. Not even just New York alone. But every city you go to, there is a Trump building. Actually, most cities, even Las Vegas. Ngokalaba Kayimiri, it has his name on. So, he was never regular. That's marketing. The marketing of the U.S. Republican Party made everybody believe that he understands their pain. These people who suffer, he's going to fight for us. Who told you?
But I think the best representation is Jigga. I was trying to
Jigga
show
man.
you videos
Yeah.
of when Jigga was taking pics with his, I think, Tai and some other guy on the couch.
Yeah.
Yeah? These other guys were giving reactions. They were like lively, yeah?
Jigga doesn't give a reaction.
Jigga was, he kept on looking like, I think they were taking photos. He always does this. Then he stands up to show that, okay,
It's done.
This is done. gotta be out of here.
Yeah.
And then these guys were, doing, gisting and everything. For him, wasn't bothering with, I need to holler at this guy.
Do
No,
you
he
think
went
it's
to-
an act?
No, I think.
Or you think that's how he has trained himself to maintain the Jay-Z mystique?
Yes, I think he has understood that whenever you show people that it's easy
To predict
to
you.
laugh with you, or
Mm.
it's like when you show someone a reaction,
Yeah.
when you show someone a reaction of, oh, hi, how are you? Ah, you good? Man, how is? Then you laugh with them, they can get into another mode of, actually, let me tell you something. Now they even get to start to waste your time.
Yeah, I think someone was once telling me that the reason I get problems with some people is that I'm too friendly.
I think I've told you that too.
I was trying to say it was someone else, but
Yeah.
I was trying to pretend it was somebody else. I was like, somebody told me, but
Yeah.
But someone was telling me that because I'm always friendly, that I should put on the persona of being serious when I meet people.
Yeah.
When I meet people, so that
Yeah.
it maintains a distance,
Like-
a safe arm distance. But the thing is, what I have a problem with that. And I think the answer I gave you was for Will Smith.
Mm.
And I've grown up as a child looking at Will Smith, and like he's been our uncle, cousin.
Yeah.
Actually, from cousin to uncle. You get me? Right now he's like uncle. But somehow I look at the interviews and I'm like, Will, I don't think that was that funny for you to laugh that hard.
Yeah.
You get me? That means there's a character that Will Smith is playing. You get me?
Yeah.
He's not that happy. The joke wasn't that funny.
Yeah.
You get me? So you live in pretense for so long, or you play a character for so long that you even forget who you are at the end of the day.
I know, right?
And then celebrity
Yeah.
ends up becoming a prison for you.
Mm.
I've seen stories like that, by the way,
Yeah.
to where someone is too successful
Yeah.
but also so depressed.
Yeah. You're
Michael
right,
Jackson.
you're right.
Yeah.
MJ.
MJ, so many people. The
Yeah.
list is endless. What about
Yeah.
guy were Linkin Park? Who's one?
Yeah.
One of my best
Even
artists.
Justin Bieber.
So many people, because you're told to always smile on camera, right? I think celebrity is much better enjoyed when who you really are and who sells you are not so far off.
Yeah, sure thing. You have
So
to
when you tell me
strike a balance.
Jigga has this persona where he always has that face of like, I'm bored, I want to leave.
Because he knows niggas are always on some shit.
I know.
Yeah.
I know, and I've read the 48 Laws of Power too.
Yeah, yo.
I've read the 48 Laws of Power too, but I think everything is much better when you're closest to who you are. Because this is a long game. I always tell people that this is a marathon. This is not a sprint.
Yeah.
You get me?
Okay.
At the end of the day, what good is it for you to be rich or successful,
Mm.
but you hate your real self, or you can't even be yourself?
Of course.
How about in a sense of safeguarding your real self and
Mhm.
feeding that to the people who are real to you, and
Yeah.
those are the ones who know you.
Yeah.
Because out there, people act like they care, but they don't. So
Yeah,
they'll
yeah.
take your real self and destroy you with that because you've given them. It's like the paparazzi that keeps
Do you,
on
do, you be-
following.
do you believe every smile you're given?
Sorry?
Do you believe every smile you're given?
It's crazy because I don't even think about believing. I just hope.
Yo.
I just hope.
Bro, you're in the music industry.
I just
I know,
hope.
right?
I just
Yeah.
hope you don't think that smile serves me any purpose.
Yeah.
It should be genuine to you.
Yeah.
Because me.
Oh, because for you, untouchable, Teflon Don.
No, because for me, I'm like, I don't believe that someone. Okay, people have like showed this kind of behavior
Yeah.
a lot of times,
Yeah.
but Chris Brown has said it. I think even Jay-Z has said it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a fellow artist, if you're an artist and a fellow artist is uploading you for being number one and they're in the same competition,
That's fake.
They are thinking how do I get
Dethrone this motherfucker.
exactly.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, like, I know you want the same thing, but you're laughing like you're happy that I got it. Nah. Okay, let's laugh.
The fakest thing you ever, you're right, the fakest thing you ever see is when people at an award ceremony are standing up and applauding the person who has won. It's gracious. But trust me, on the inside, they're like,
Oh, God. It's like on act mode.
Congratulations.
With smiles.
You're so right. So I've been in the music industry for so long, right?
Yeah.
What did I tell you guys? That when I was at the Yenze festival, I could tell people who are genuinely happy to be there. And I could also tell the artists who are greeting me, but were like, we have to deal with this motherfucker again. He's back in Uganda.
I know.
You get me? So I got genuine love, right?
Yeah.
And now I'm at the level where I can tell this smile is fake. This person is trying too hard to hide something. You get me?
Yeah.
This person is intimidated to meet me because there's that mystique of the person GNL. And then this is a motherfucking hater. Like, don't over compliment me on shit. like there's some things you can tell when a person is like overly trying. You get me? Like experience has taught me that. So there's a book by Robert.
Yeah.
Someone's over speaking about my
Your
watch,
shoes.
like say my shoes.
Like, they're
man,
happy. They're like, yo, you got a cool shoe. But in the question in their mind is like, how come you have the original and I have the fake?
They can't figure it in one way or the other. Like, how?
But the thing is, going back to the Yenza Hip Hop Festival,
Okay.
I think that was the biggest statement hip hop could ever make.
Yeah.
No matter how it looks, no matter how people react to it, I believe it's the biggest statement hip hop could ever make. And now we are in the most fertile ground the seed could ever land in.
Yeah.
Because right now, it's basically every superhero story.
True.
Yep.
Now we have the chance to build from ground zero.
Yeah.
You get me? It's like building from ground zero. By the way, the people who are there, so the turnout wasn't great for the venue.
Yeah.
But that's for year one.
For year one.
But I'm glad that hip hop had that moment where people from different regions of Uganda are represented. All regions of Uganda were represented.
Yeah. And
It's not racist, huh?
a performance.
No, it wasn't at all. And the performances were crazy. Everybody came.
I felt like
Everybody showed
how
up.
could people miss this?
Yeah,
This is for
yeah.
the world to see.
Yes.
But we're going to put up the videos. Probably they'll get to see and also enjoy.
I had a good time on stage. I'm one of those people who's like, if it's for hip hop, it's about the fans.
Exactly.
Like everything else does not matter.
Yeah.
So there was a section, not even just a section. All the people who are in that but VIP, we had few people in VIP, but VIP had a great time.
Yeah.
Everyone from that other section, like whether it was me on stage or other artists, there was an energy that this is ours. Finally, we have something which is truly ours.
Exactly.
They were not shaken by anything.
Yeah. And so we have strength to build upon. And for Swahili Nation, you have to do better marketing next time. But we are not knocking you, first of all, because there has never been a platform celebrating rappers the way you guys put on a stage like that, the way you guys did. Respected everybody's name. No, everybody's name. Everybody who stepped on stage, they had a background which was specifically designed for them.
Yeah.
You would see a Joy 7-star, and Joy is passionate about hip hop.
Yeah.
And she's dancing. She's in the oval, doing a thing on stage. Troy was also there. Max Main, to me, it was like a beautiful celebration of hip hop.
Yeah.
Like we can only build on to better things. I'm really looking forward to next year. I don't know if it will make me headliner next year because I don't know, I've already done this one, you know.
Yeah.
But whoever is the headliner next year, I think this is going to be one of the biggest celebrations in East Africa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People just
What was your experience? Because you're on stage.
Okay, one,
Yeah.
as a DJ, a hip hop DJ,
Yeah.
my reception was well received. By the way,
Someone
were
quarreled
fun.
that you played this song yet you didn't invite
Can
him.
I speak out the name?
It's-
Okay.
It's
let
your
me also use
it's
part
your
of-
prerogative.
yeah, but
it's your
because you're the
prerogative
DJ
anyway.
playing,
You are the
because you
DJ.
saw it.
Yeah.
Okay, let me tell you this. We have many rappers in UG.
But
Yeah.
don't mention him because
I mentioned the hood.
no. I think it's irrelevant.
Of course,
It's
he knows
irrelevant.
himself.
It's irrelevant.
It's irrelevant.
Mm.
But still, I had to play.
But you
he has
should.
nice
But
music.
did you play it out of malice or you played it out
No,
of
no,
I think it
love?
was
I
like a
played it
normal
out
track.
of love.
Mm.
I played it out of love, by the way.
Yeah.
I even played it. I played it thrice.
Yeah.
Because I
Wow.
scratched it, then played it back, looped it, and played
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
juggled around with it, which was fun.
They
And
have,
that's the main
they-
clip
na-
that the
now
guy recorded.
they have refused you to play the song.
No,
Todamo kuzanyo oluyimba.
nigga was like, "Temwapisemu kuba oluyimba lwange," but the same guy was in the what?
yeah. But it's interesting because most of the rappers, their songs are bigger than them.
Yeah, by the way.
You
Mm.
understand?
Yep.
And so
Explain. I don't
so-
know what you're saying.
it's like maybe
He's
you're
right.
Marlin, why you laughing?
Maybe-
man?
By the way.
maybe the song owns you, you don't own it.
Yeah.
And it can do whatever it wants. So
Mm.
it's gone. You can, flip your legs and everything. The song is going to reach where you're not going to reach at some point.
Of course.
Mm.
So, and the DJs are they're just playing music. They're not even
Yeah.
really thinking about you. When they're playing music.
It's not
They're
personal.
thinking about hip hop
By
music.
the way.
Do you know what's funny about organizing having like the outlook on the whole hip hop game and having like insider information, because people kept on telling me, I'm like, how can you guys? First of all, there were artists who were on the roster,
Yeah.
and I personally told them, I'm not performing if you're putting Chidandali guys on our roster.
Mm.
It was I'm the one who said that.
Mm.
Yeah.
I'm like, you cannot call it a hip hop moment, right? And then you call so and so, and so and so, and so and so to be a part of our roster. Our cousins in this game are either R&B or soul.
Mm.
If you have R&B and soul artists, Chakabi. But you're not going to say it's a hip hop event with me as headliner, and those names are.
Yeah.
You get
Let's
me,
not
like-
mention.
No, I'm not going to mention the names. I'm not going to mention the names. But being first-time organizers, I think they did a good job. I'm not going to
Yeah.
knock them.
Yeah.
It was really nice.
It was really, really nice. And from the service providers that they chose, the only thing where they lacked was that so many people did not even know that this event was happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And from the comments, I'm seeing people angry, people who love GNL, people who love hip-hop music saying, try to mention what you're on a show.
Yeah.
Like Baulida, these people who are wolokosaring that was a show actually happening. I really wish them luck with the next year, because I think next year is going to be much bigger and better.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was such a beautiful moment. Tents for the artists,
Yeah.
you know, like the lighting, stage production on 1,000.
Because hip hop is a lifestyle, and
It-
we
it
know how
is,
to
yeah.
present
Yeah.
and to represent hip hop.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and it's interesting. But shout out to
Malin
everybody
was
who
wasn't
performed.
there. Where were you?
I was in Barara.
What were you doing in Barra?
I had another Eve. I told you about it.
Kasiki, eh? Oh my, is this guy introducing?
No, like there's a company that I work for, and they
Yeah.
really called me. It was really hurting me actually,
Yeah.
missing it, and I was like,
I had another friend who was in Barara. Actually, he drove back that very day. You know who it is. Don't say the name, but
"You're trying to cook me?"
yeah. He drove back that very day. Then I'm not trying to cook you. I'm not trying to cook you, but yeah. It was such a moment that, and I don't think every hip hop festival is supposed to be having everybody who has ever rapped on stage.
No.
It's a selection. It's a curation
Even
of.
going to every show.
Every
Yeah.
show is
Every
like
show
that.
they're not going to have everybody who is, capable to be on
Yeah,
the
yeah,
show.
yeah.
So,
Because even shows are timed, by the way.
yeah.
You can't you can't
It's
perform every artist.
To be
on one
timeless.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just like you told me to speak in parables.
Yeah.
I've been stoned.
Mm.
I've been lashed. I've bled. Peter has denied me thrice.
3 times.
3 times.
I think
Peter was like,
You
I
would even
do
get that
not
fourth
know
time if you're not
GNL.
gonna die.
I do not know GNL.
3
Like-
times.
Like in the
Judas
11,
sold you
11
out.
Judas sold me out, you guys. 12 of them, 12 ducats.
Yeah.
Judas took 12 coins and was like, that chap over there, he's the one you should crucify. This show is not a festival. It's
That's the
GNL.
greatest.
It's
That's the.
It's GNL show.
That's the greatest
So
political man.
that's when I thought. That's when I thought. But I was chilling in the garden of Gethsemane,
Mm.
which the Baganda call Getesumairi. I was drinking wine omuzabigu, eh? Now, when I was chilling up there praying to my father, right? I told guys down here to also pray because what we're going to do was like really, really challenging. And it had never been done before.
Yeah.
To overthrow the government.
But what we're going to do was like had never been done before, that we should pray about it and pray for bravery and pray for good spirits.
Yeah.
Now, when I climbed up to go pray, I prayed for a few hours. But I think I took longer. I thought I was going to take only an hour. I took 10 hours. Decades. At 1 decade. It took years, 10 years. So when I came back down here, I found the apostles sleeping.
They'd given up.
The apostles were sleeping. Yeah.
They were tired
There
of
was
waiting.
some other shit. You get me? Yeah? There was some other shit.
They even made a new
So
god.
I woke them up. I was like, guys, what we're going to do is really big. It's really monumental. Let's pray about it. Like, please, let's pray about this thing.
Yeah.
I went back up. I prayed a little more. I pleaded and pleaded and pleaded and pleaded with the heavens to give me the strength and bravery. For what was about to happen was bigger than me, but it had to be done for the sake of humanity to be saved. And then I came back down. Guess what? The disciples were still sleeping.
Oh my
I was thinking,
And I
god.
think
you
that
know what?
some would
And you
wake
know-
up
and-
and
and-
look
and you
and
know
then-
what I did? And you know what I did this time? I found that some of them had not even covered their feet. And I got my robe and covered their feet. And then I waited for the moment when Judas would come with the Roman soldiers and say,
Yo.
yo gumuba demunonya. And just like it had been predicted, yeah, the Roman soldiers grabbed me. They said the event was mine. I organized it. Hey, parables. Say it, parables. They said that I've been calling myself the Son of God. You know, they accused me of many things. Then they took me in front of Pontius Pilate. Now, in front of Pontius Pilate, he listened to my case. And I said my thing was to free humanity, give opportunities to the young, represent our culture. It has nothing to do with the Romans. Matter of fact, I even told them to give Caesar what belongs to Caesar. This had nothing to do with the Romans. Please, like. But if you have to do what you have to do, I have no problem with you. You get me? And then Pontius asked some of the people had been preaching to before. The Abayudaya. They said, actually, that's not the right way to phrase it. So they asked the masses, right, that there's a thief here called Barnabas, who has been disturbing you, doing all these weird things. He's like, I'm giving you two options.
That story is crazy.
It's like, of this guy who has been disturbing you in the night, ababa, and this guy who has been preaching love, unity, and peace. Whose life should I save of the two? Guess what the masses chose?
Barnabas.
They were like, free Barnabas, kill GNL.
Yeah.
So the night was long. They spat in my face. Articles were written. The blogs went off. It was like they were waiting for the moment when I would die. But what did I do? I only preached love for one another, love for the game, love for the culture, love for our nation. And along the way, I felt so thirsty. A certain woman offered me water. But the Roman grabbed the cloth that had water, dipped it in a very bitter liquid, and then dipped it on my tongue. The lashes continued. Right when I thought the torture was about to end, they brought the heaviest cross and put it right where the wounds were. Omanyinga omuti omuti ogwo gubateka kasoli abaguyita batya? Omumbuti. Like they brought nga kuliko n'obwo bumansuka nga bakubye ekibooko skin yonna esanso ne bakuteekako ogwo omuti nga kuliko n'obuntu obufumita. They told me, lift this thing. I'm like, damn. Why was I preaching love, peace, and harmony? I should have stayed in Bethlehem or Egypt. You get me? I shouldn't have pulled up to Jerusalem on the latest donkey. Niggas were hating on my donkey.
That was like a Rolls Royce.
It was like a Rolls Royce. Niggas were hating on my donkey. My donkey was like, they were like, his donkey even talks. Meanwhile, they pretended to be my friends. They did ABC, and now this came their moment, and they were on the blogs talking about how I was doing the most. Like, I'm arrogant, I'm angry. All I did was preach love, peace, and harmony, self-belief and self-love to the extent that it should spill over to the younger generation so they can have confidence in themselves. That's all I preached. All they saw was, who is he to tell us that? Long story long, I ended up on the biggest cross in the land.
Custom
made.
Branded.
Branded.
Never.
They even put a thing on the cross.
Oh God.
Here lies the king of hip-hop.
I think you're the last person to die on such a cross.
Here lies the king of what? The king of hip-hop. Bruh. The heavens were about to show them a lesson, teach them a lesson. But guess what I said? Forgive them, Father.
They don't know what they are doing.
They don't know what
Indeed, they don't.
They don't. And in that moment, one Roman soldier got the sharpest spear and pierced me right here. It missed my heart a little bit.
He's not dying very fast. Let's try to make it fast.
Let's make it this fast. We're going to club. We're going to
You've been here for 3 hours, man.
You've
been here too long, man. This guy is not dying.
Hey. Meanwhile, the other side, if this was a movie, there's Judas in the room now regretting why he sold out his body.
You already used up the money.
So, the other side, just like Luca, Judas bamusanga yetuze. Jesus had completed his mission of freeing humankind of sin. And hip-hop became again the #1 topic talked about in the nation.
Wow. So nice to actually witness
GNL
this.
had done his job. He had died on the cross. Oshtegera. But in 3 days.
3 days.
Oh my God. Which is a Monday. Oh, Monday. Yeah.
3 days
In
from
3
now.
days.
3 days from now.
3 days. 3 days. 3 days. Maria Magdalene and Hiphop. Simanyoba arithme bichi.
But we saw that guy, right?
They came and were like, "But this dude, man, wasn't a bad guy." Like, hey, look at what they done to him in the papers, in the blogs. Like, I know an empty tomb somewhere. At least let's give him at least a kabari, yo. They went and asked for permission, like back door. Pontius was like, yeah, just like put the guy down, like do whatever. So they put his body down and took him to the tomb and then put the heavy stones.
So nobody could come in.
Nobody could come in, nobody
Steal
could
it.
see him, somebody could steal, but at least he was safe from the vultures. Because
The hyenas.
it has got to be love for people to love you, eh? Yeah. To love you even when you think you have lost, you're gone, you're dead, eh? It takes a certain kind of love to even like preserve your dignity, you know? Because the vultures, the vultures come and do this on your eyes.
Yep.
You know that?
They start with the eyes.
The vultures begin eating you up alive. No, better dead. So they're like, nah. So they saved from the vultures at least. For 3 days. Faith was gone. And I'm not talking about my ex-girlfriend, Faith. I'm talking about the real Faith.
Oh,
Faith was gone.
now we know.
Hope was dead.
Who is Hope?
But for those who believed, for those who had faith, they knew that this was just the end of the beginning.
The rebirth.
That was a renaissance. That was a rebirth. A superhero was just about to discover his powers. That the seed, which was buried deep in the soil, was about to sprout. The tree was about to become a forest. They believed in the prophecy that one day a man had a dream, and that dream was to free humanity, and that dream shall come to pass. In 3 days, they came and looked at my palm, and I whispered, there was a hole. They wanted to prove if it was really me. And guess what? After saving Hiphop again, I said, peace. I'll be back. Amen. That's the gospel of greatness. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the gospel of greatness. You told me to speak in parables.
Yeah.
There's your parable.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
If you don't get it,
If you don't get it,
forget about it.
We shouldn't be signing out now.
We should be signing out.
But
Yeah.
it's straight style now.
Rest in peace, Cedric Ndirima, our good friend, and one of the people who tried to change this nation. No matter how he's judged, Cedric Ndirima did a lot for people in sports, particularly tennis. He did a lot for basketball. He gave so many of us a chance to perform at Friday Night Lights, which was a night that was dedicated to basketball.
Yeah.
So many MCs, so many rappers got their chance to shine. Artists like Ruyonga were signed to him because he believed again in this genre. Before he moved on to host his own talk show and ran UBC for some time, before he ended up trying his hand at politics, there are people who believe they can change something from the inside, so they join it. He was one of those good people that I believed had a good heart. He was from a well-to-do family, Kale, but he chose not to be a braggant person. He was helpful to people whenever they needed him. I'm talking about people like me. Whenever I found him, he had some advice. He told me he had chikankane. The first time I met him, he's like, you're the guy. I had chikankane when I was in India. We met at Talent Africa Studios. And he was telling me how the song made his night and his days in India, like so much fun. You get me? But he passed away, so rest in peace, Cedric Ndirima. We'll always remember your memories, your laughter, your advice, your guidance, and, like being a mentor to young men like us in this city. So that's very, very important. So you're going to be dearly missed. I know you're missed by your family. We send our love, prayers, and condolences. And for DJ Bush Baby. I was on campus, I think, first year, when they were looking for the best freestylers in East Africa. Yeah. And for some reason, I won for Uganda. This was before in a song, by the way. And the very first person who gave me my first interview and competition to have that was Bush Baby. I think Feed Q won for Tanzania. I don't know if it was Juakali won for Kenya, but one of those like guys from Caliph Records, something like that.
Yeah,
Caliph Records. So Bush Baby was such a visionary that he always dreamed big things, like uniting East African artists. I went to Tanzania not once, not twice, not 3 times, but because we had shows over there, because we had a base. There was Sebo, who worked for East Africa, Channel 5, and there was Bush Baby, who was so influential that I don't think he even realized how influential he was. But on Channel 5, he was the guy. If you were to send songs to be played in the East African region on that TV, it was Bush Baby that received them. So the whole region, he was curating the sound. Not only that, but he also worked with a guy called Eddie Okila on a show called Double XL, which was also one of the biggest by then. Yeah. So many people don't know who Bush Baby was, because he was also like a kind of a recluse animal, but he was also like very, very thoughtful, and he did not have a problem giving a chance to other people. Sometimes he was like harsh, he would back at people. But that's because sometimes when you're a visionary, you lack the impatience and you want the person to grow even faster than the mode of learning. You get me? Yeah. And sometimes that impatience showed, but everybody that he touched all gave a chance when he passed away. I didn't even know he was that popular, but I was hearing people like Anatalia Ozzy saying, oh, if it wasn't for this guy, I wouldn't be the presenter I am. So many people like across Uganda, across Tanzania, across Kenya were talking about Bush Baby and his impact on Uganda's music industry. In the media industry as a producer, TVs like Urban TV, there's so many TVs where he has played a role. Even for the vocal cipher for hip-hop again, that was still him. So shout out to the people that build, that sacrifice, that go the extra mile to build things, not just for themselves, but platforms for other people to eat. They might not be rewarded in real time, but trust me, society, in order for it to advance, it needs people like that. So rest in peace, Bush Baby, rest in peace, Cedric. To the people watching the Zambaland podcast, I hope that this was great for you. Street has something to say before we close? Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks. Okay, let me thank the fans, the hip-hop fans.
The hip-hop fans.
Yeah. Thanks for coming through.
Yeah.
The real fans of Baboon Forest Entertainment. My fans. My Chadi fans. Don't forget my Chadi fans. My Chadada fans.
I got an experience, by the way. During the Yenze promotional tour, right? I was told that I had to be at Chadondo. Now, when I get to Chadondo, I remember the Chadondo of back in the day, because that's where I had my very first show. So then I go back and there's a tent, there are screens, there was whatever, and there's a DJ playing. Happens to be this guy. Bruh, I jump on stage, unannounced. And the crowd just began gathering, and it was crazy. It was like crazy. Like when you see the video, you don't realize how loud people were. The video does not do it any justice, but people are singing from their chairs from the other side, and it's a tent. So the echo would bounce over there, and then wah! And it was like song after song after song, and then I said, you know what? Guys, come meet me over there next weekend, blah, blah, blah. I love the energy of Chadondo. So I finished performing, and I'm like, you can come for a picture, blah, blah, blah. I'm on my innocent shit. The moment I got off the stairs, I had to come back and tell this guy, yo, I need security.
I'm not sick now.
Yeah, because someone was grabbing me from here. Someone is like, I'm your OB. The other one is like, I need a picture. Some chick was like, kiss me. And I'm like, did you see her?
Yeah, I was
Very
there.
pretty. But
She
I was
was
like,
like-
I'm married.
You told her, yeah. She was like, give me a peg. You're like, I can't do that because
Yeah.
I'm married.
I'm married, yeah. She was really pretty, but I was like, Ned Danyav.
Yeah.
So leaving, now when I go back behind the tent, I got mobbed. I was on some, you know when Elsa Proki, that picture of women is in the crowd? So it was like a lot of love, a lot of people showing their affection for me. But I also have, this is the first time I'm admitting this, I have social anxiety. You won't believe this. But I have a thing.
I believe.
You do?
Yeah.
Or say again, like, in that moment, in that very, very moment, I felt it for some time, but I think because I was among my people, it vanished. And it just became a thing of, omaye kukubonga nako tunako lowuliranga ne nako ekuluma like guys like I'm like brah.
Oh
Like,
my
now
God.
people are hugging me, like people are like everywhere, like I'm like, you know what, this is what it feels like to be back home.
Yeah.
So I got that dose of Chadondo, like at his thing. And the next time I got that dose again was when we were in Chikubo.
Yeah.
That was also crazy. That was crazy. So I'm glad to be back home. It really, really, really feels good to be back home. To be
Welcome
among
back,
my
Sid.
people.
Welcome back officially.
Hey, even my neighbor was there, by the way.
What?
Yansika nengamba look at him, I'm going to end up on the ground. Like he lifted me off the ground and skom kona gamba gwai. Obade bakube nyimba zo waneno nga ngamba yiyi basajja basasula meka. But my neighbor, like next door neighbor was just like right there. But he's like so strong. He looks like I think he also played rugby a little bit because
I know
in a Janji Musa like off the ground like real like woo. So I can't wait to be back to the nightlife because I've been home a lot also. Can't wait to be back to the nightlife, like have stories, you know,
Yeah.
sip a few drinks, have nice conversations. I can't wait to be back to your set. Is that the kind of energy you have there every day?
Every weekend.
Wow, it's crazy. Chadondo is crazy.
Super crazy.
I keep on telling you guys.
And then people were like, I know, give those people their show, but you have to come here and give us ours. Like it has its own cult.
Yeah.
Yeah, by the way,
Chadondo was like,
they have
no,
their own
we-
thing going
like,
on.
you need to come to Chadi and give us our own thing. I love that. Chadondo crew, thank you. I really appreciate you.
And it's growing to be very strong. Like it's
Yeah.
becoming that number one spot that is.
Tell them.
It's
tell
like
them.
Yeah.
organic.
It's organic. I can see
Very,
why.
very
I can
organic.
see why. Because you go over there, the Mochomo is on point. The
And
people are
it's
not
open.
the people are not pretentious.
Mm-mm.
See, maybe
Yeah,
maybe,
it's very fun.
I'm too cool. People are dancing, like
Yeah.
dancing, and the music is amazing. I see why that can attract many people, and it's
Yeah.
open. It's open air.
Yeah.
Like, come on, yeah,
It's a
Yeah.
chilling spot.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Guys, thank you for coming through DJ Streets. Thank you
It's
for
always a
for
pleasure
hosting and then believing also people, hip hop people. I saw you doing your thing.
Yeah.
Marlin, photographer,
Karibu nyumbani.
friend of the forest. Ojua Swahili.
Kidogo.
Kidogo. Tamanyoyo.
Now I was
Tamani,
welcoming
tamani.
you back home.
Yeah, man. Collins Edimu, the Ejakite himself. We are Baboon Forest Entertainment. Thank you to everybody that came through to the Yenze Hip Hop Festival to support hip hop. Thank you for Swahili Nation for believing in the culture. And thank you to the people that watch this podcast daily, that believe in our brands and support them. Actually, I've been showing people that always. Like,
we have to do like a whole tutorial.
I'm like,
Let's do like this is a free tutorial.
This is a free tutorial for the baboon forest thing, right?
Yeah.
You hold the second last finger. Hold it with your thumb, like this. Now, after you hold it, now you're going to be having this kat kongola. Yeah, that's the baboon forest sign. Yes, yes. Now, signing out, Baboon Forest Entertainment. The forest is forever. Long live the culture. Long live hip hop.
Uganda yafe.
Peace.